Cannons to the right of them, volley and thunder. The cannons at Fort Charlotte are under repair. Felicity Darville is on the story.
And a lot of work goes into being a National Youth Guard recruit. We have the proof straight ahead.
Plus, Grieve and Grow is a new book on the shelves near you. Stay close for the details.
And coming up in sports, a Bahamian coach helps to build a basketball powerhouse.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Well, yesterday, Marlena, we congratulated our colleagues for winning the Elevation Awards on the weekend. What we didn't know was that we had another colleague who was somewhere else, but in the winning as well.
That's right, LaDawn. Our very own Margaret Elizabeth McKay is the recipient of one of the prestigious GHS Phoenix Awards. So congratulations to you, Margaret. The Hill Thrillers are doing big things.
Doing big things indeed. The Government High School held an event over the weekend where many of the country's greats who make up the school's alumni were honored. Congratulations to Margaret Elizabeth, a radio personality right here on the Hill. But let's dive right into the news, shall we, Marlena? Now, if you passed our key in recent times, you may have noticed that one of the historic cannons there on West Bay Street has been knocked down. Well, the Antiquities Monuments and Museums Corporation has started the process of restoring one of Nassau's historic treasures. Felicity Darville takes a look.
The four cannons perched at the perimeter of Arawak Key and pointed towards Nassau Harbor are known as the Water Battery. They were established in the 1790s, and in the 1840s they were upgraded. They remained undisturbed, mostly as a tourist attraction, until this year when a car accident occurred at the site. The Antiquities Monuments and Museums Corporation is now in the process of restoring them, according to archaeologist Dr. Grace Turner. The water battery was designed to gun down enemy ships trying to enter Nassau Harbor. Although they're no longer in use, they represent an important part of Bahamian history.
As far as we are aware, Nassau was attacked and captured twice during the American Revolutionary War. The new American Navy, their first foreign conquest was to capture Nassau in 1776, looking for gunpowder, but we had sent it all out. And then in 1782, the Spanish from Cuba took over Nassau because during wartime, people in the Bahamas could get government permission to attack enemy ships, and they wanted to shut that down. And in the treaty that ended that war in 1783, Great Britain actually traded the Bahamas for Florida. Great Britain gave Florida back to Spain in order for Spain to give the Bahamas back to Britain.
Considering the rich history of Nassau, Dr. Grace and her team are working hard to preserve it. These cannons are getting a long overdue refurbishment 200 years later as the AMMC moves to preserve this aspect of Bahamian history. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Smarts, skills, and stamina. The triple threat needed to make it as a National Youth Guard. Danielle Dean and cameraman caught the National Youth Guard trainees right in the middle of rigorous training exercises at the Southwestern Defense Force Base.
To sink or swim, Cohort 4 of the National Youth Guard are diving in headfirst into their futures, most of them with hopes of becoming Defense Force officers in the near future.
The main reason why I joined is to help out my mother and make her proud, along with my other family members and friends. It was a strenuous process. It's not an easy process, but it's a great process. It's a beneficial process in the end, in the long run. Lots of certificates, lots of benefits for the future, and physically, it's a great benefit as well.
17-year-old Tatiana McKinsey only hopes she and her peers will be among the roughly 150 officers recruited into the Defense Force each year and thereafter make a difference in our country.
Because it's a lot of things happening around us. I hope that each and every one of us could get along perfectly fine to serve our community in the right way.
The group has been through the fire, thrown into the deep end, and still managed to stay afloat. in the process making Chief Petty Officer Kelsey Missick stick his chest out with pride.
This is an outstanding group of young men and women. Their growth has been tremendous from day one to now. I am sure that they are going to be an incredible force for good, not only in the ranks of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, but wherever they go in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks a lot, Danielle. Well, grief, a word we all know, but few dare to speak aloud. It's often pushed aside, avoided in conversation, and wrapped in silence, yet is one of the most universal experiences we share. A Bahamian first-time author launches a deeply moving book on grief. West Calix Forbes has a story.
At the national launch of her powerful new book, Grieve and Grow, Jacqueline Gardner invited the nation into a conversation long overdue. Inspired by the heartbreaking loss of her beloved sister, Grieve and Grow is more than just a memoir. It's a compassionate, practical guide designed to help others navigate grief before it happens and after it strikes.
This day was long in the making. It's finally here. And it is a process. And it's not a linear process like 1, 2, 3. So with grief, you can go to process 1, and then, so what it is that you're first in denial, and then you have depression. It's not linear, but what it is a process, and once you go through the process, you can make it to the other side. So the book deals with the process, documents the process. I share my own experience with the process and the experiences of others.
Gardner's book doesn't shy away from the truth. It explores grief, coping mechanisms after loss, and most importantly, how to support children in their own grieving journeys. With gentle reflections, practical tools, and heartfelt stories, she provides a much-needed roadmap for individuals and families alike.
I find it very difficult to adjust to life. Actually, I went into a depression, but didn't realize, because I'm normally a bold, strong, happy person, but when grief took me, it took me into a depression. So it's only through going through therapy. I was diagnosed with having complicated grief and accumulative grief. And even our children to be able to turn pain into purpose, and for that to happen, we need to break it down to their size, a child's size, so that they can process, because it's all about processing it, and then taking the steps to turn it into purpose.
One of the most inspiring moments of the evening was hearing from Kermit Miller, a father who was featured in the book who lost his daughter to a drunk driving incident.
My painting is the way that I keep my daughter alive.
This book is for anyone who has ever loved and lost. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Well, still to come, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means? It's time for Leno Wealthwise. Tonight's feature, women and retirement. Stay close.
Choice soup, assorted 15-ounce, $3.59. Get your Abbott flour, 5 pounds, $3.69. Kellogg's Family Selling cereals, assorted 24-ounce, $6.29. For salmon, $9.99 per pound. Regular apples, right on $3.49. Sign up to join the Super Value Quality Digital Rewards Program at any Super Value and Quality Supermarkets location.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. ATC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Looking at a live shot of the historic Grey Cliff Restaurant and Hotel, brought to you by our drone pilot Neville Big Nev Smith. This mansion was built in 1740 by Captain John Howard Graysmith, a famous pirate of the Caribbean who commandeered the notorious ship Grey Wolf. His buccaneering made him rich, famous, and greatly feared. After passing through many owners, Greycliff was purchased in 1973 by Italian businessman Enrico Garzaroli and his wife, Anna. They turned the private mansion into what you see today, an elegant hotel and restaurant. Greycliff is a landmark listed in the National Register of Historic Places. Whew, that was a mouthful. Well, let's head on down to Eleuthera to see what's happening there. Let's go.
Bahamas nationwide have taken full advantage of growing their own produce, ensuring they maintain a healthier lifestyle. The One Eleuthera Foundation, based in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, has gone a step further by not only teaching residents about the importance of agriculture, but providing health greens to the entire community. LTV's Munnings begins a two-part series on the benefits derived from this multi-million-dollar hidden gem.
The One Eleuthera Foundation has built this massive greenhouse. It's called the Oasis Grow House. And right here is where you can find everything green. Come, let's take a look.
We currently have lettuces, mixed leaf lettuce blends, head lettuces, tomatoes, cucumbers are in growing, maturing. We have arugula and spinach.
And all of those vegetables, according to Oasis Grow House's crop production officer, Dr. Salima Halber, are in high demand across the island of Eleuthera. Built in 2021, the first crop began growing in 2022. And fast forward to today, the operation is now entering its third season of production.
We begin the week with harvesting on Mondays, and that product is processed quickly, and then we begin shipping out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So the product gets to the consumer, whether it's a restaurant or grocery store, within 24 to 48 hours of harvest. And then once those busy days are tackled, our crew here spends a lot of time planting seeds, maintaining the beds, whether it's weeding or transplanting new crops in the beds. There's always a lot going on here.
Oasis Grow House has 3 massive water tanks and a reverse osmosis water system with the capacity to store more than 1 million gallons of runoff rainwater collected from the structure itself. The 1.1-acre facility also houses the first retractable roof cooling house in the country.
Others who are interested in entering the industry and wanting to be able to produce vegetables on a large scale and improve or optimize their yields, this would be the structure to check out.
In part 2, we'll tell you how Oasis Grow House is growing more awareness on the importance of agriculture across Eleuthera. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Eleuthera Munnings.
Good news from LTV's down there in Eleuthera. Can't wait for part 2. Well, tonight we take a closer look at an issue that affects millions of women worldwide: retirement. Studies show that women on average retire with significantly less savings than men despite living longer. So what's causing this gap, and how can women take control of their financial future? Diane Dorset has the story.
For many women, the road to retirement is filled with financial challenges. Lower lifetime earnings, career breaks for caregiving, and a longer lifespan all add up to a unique retirement gap. But experts at Leno say the key to financial independence in retirement starts with early planning and smart decision making. Studies show that women retired with nearly 30% less savings than men. One major reason, the gender pay gap and career interruptions. VP of Business Development and Client Relations, Clara Farquharson, says this puts women at a disadvantage when planning for the future.
Women are more likely than men to spend more time out of the working world due to commitments such as taking care of elderly parents and children. This wage gap will result in less monies going towards retirement savings and lesser monies being made over their working career.
So how can women take charge of their retirement planning? Farquharson says starting early, maximizing employer benefits, and investing wisely are key steps toward financial security.
I would recommend for women, as soon as they start working, to put monies away for a retirement plan. because the longer they start and the more consistent, the better for them to grow their retirement pot to what it needs to be. If you're fortunate to work for an employer, make sure that you not only participate, but you're also maximizing the most returns that you can have in that plan.
With more women entering the workforce and advocating for equal pay, the future of women's retirement is changing. But financial literacy and policy changes will play a crucial role in closing the gap.
Take, for example, someone that's 20 years old, putting $100 to age 65 on a monthly basis, at about 6% will save about $200,000. At 8%, about $350,000, and at 10%, about $633,000. That same individual, if they wait until they're 40 years old, at 6%, at $100, they would only save about $69,000. At 8%, about $95,000, and at 10%, only about $132,000. So it's very important to start sooner rather than later.
The bottom line is this: women need to take control of their financial future starting today. Whether it's negotiating higher salaries, contributing more to retirement savings, or investing wisely, every step counts. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Well, as usual, it's great to hear from our friends at Leno, but now let's take a look at what's coming up in sports.
And a Bahamian, a vital part of a national college basketball powerhouse. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Welcome to your Wednesday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Well, on Monday night, it was the College Basketball National Championship. Florida Gators facing off against the Houston Cougars in a game for the ages. The matchup saw the Gators rally to serve the Cougars a heartbreaking loss. But all in all, a Bahamian, a key contributor to Houston's success all year. Assistant strength and conditioning coach Brian Clark Jr., a vital part of that staff. And we recently caught up with him. He gave us an in-depth look at his role on the team.
I spend my days just preparing our athletes for the physicality and the mentality for the games you see us play. And so I don't have direct impact on whether we lose or win games because I ain't the one out there calling the plays or making adjustments. But I believe when you look at the adversity these athletes just face throughout the year, especially like in the summertime when we train from 6 in the morning from June straight to September, like every day is a war, bro. Like every day is competition based. It's intense from a physical and a mental standpoint. But if I could put it in a nutshell, it's all I do is just ensure that the coaches that's on the court just have a healthy and high-performing squad to choose from.
Clark also speaking on what goes into making an elite basketball program.
I think we do a good job at just doing those things like every day. Like we consistent in everything we do. We do a good job at using our sports science metrics to make sure we don't have no major discrepancies that would hinder us from competing at our best. And then a lot of Power 5 programs have like a paid nutritionist, but we handle that as well ourselves.
And that's been a look at your sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
Supermarkets. Equal tomato paste, 6 ounces, $1.09. Pastorelli pastas, assorted 15-ounce, out for $4.99. Raw chicken wings, $1.79 per pound. Phoenix berries, that at any Super Value and quality supermarket location.
Hi, I am Director Sharita Murphy of Harvest Discipleship Center. Tune in this Sunday at 4:30 p.m. with Pastor Charles for Words and Wonders, here on the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Tune in to the program, Living by Faith, with Bishop Valentino Williams of Life Changes Ministries International. Sundays at 5:30 p.m. on ZNS TV station. Prepare to be inspired, impacted, empowered, and transformed. Remember, the just shall live by faith.
This prophet here is not for sale. This prophet here come to declare what thus saith the Lord.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lapinder.
It's time now for your Access Weather Forecast. We had a cold front enter the northwest Bahamas last night, dumped some heavy showers across Grand Bahama, Abaco, and we got some here in the capital late during the early morning hours. Those showers since spread across the Eleuthera, Cat Island, and the Exumas. Much of those showers will move over the open waters of the Atlantic, leaving behind drier and cooler air, which will move in. So we'll see temperatures starting to drop tonight, tomorrow, but it will quickly warm up on Friday ahead of yet another cold front, which Ladon will move in here on Saturday afternoon. That will reinforce the cool temperatures, so your cool temperatures are on the way. And your boating forecast tonight, well, is brought to you by Live Business, where we simply bulk up your business. In the northwest and central islands tonight, northwest winds, and that will usher in the cool temperatures. 10 to 15 knots will be the wind speeds with wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Now, your low tide tonight, that will take place at 1 in the morning. And for the southeast Bahamas, you can anticipate light and variable winds, very flat sea conditions, so beautiful boating conditions shaping up for you for the next few days. Tomorrow, which is Thursday, those winds will become north to northeast, continuing that clockwise rotation, but increasing in speeds, 12 to 18 knots to wave heights, building 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. So we'll post a caution flag in the afternoon for your boaters. High tide, 7:03 in the morning, with the low tide at 1:19 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, those light and variable winds with flat seas will continue. And then on Friday, for all areas, we will have light and variable winds with flat seas. High tide takes place at 7:41 in the morning, with the low tide at 1:53 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Somebody got you. Somebody got you. Somebody got you. Somebody got you. Somebody got your girlfriend on layaway. In the morning, in the night, almost every day. They would go down to the pawn shop so they can pay. Push, that ain't right. Somebody tell him what I say. Woman is the best thing God ever made. And never tell them anything.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Shores. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. LaDawn and Melina.
Thanks a lot, Basil. A really rainy day today, Marlena. Very rainy.
Like a frog's dream. Well, as the weekend approaches, hopefully we'll see a little sun or that cold front, maybe.
That I'm looking for. That we're both looking for.
We're both looking for.
Definitely. But hopefully, though. But until then, let's take a look at Let's Talk Socials with Matea Cunningham.
We've arrived to midweek. How are we feeling? Well, I know I'm feeling wonderful because it's my favorite time of the day. It's LTS time. Today, we're talking about a 15-year-old Bahamian YouTuber and content creator that goes by the name It's Me Danny. Danny is a gaming streamer that specializes in Roblox roleplays. For those that don't know, Roblox gaming roleplay is a style of gameplay on Roblox where players act out specific characters, stories, or scenarios within a game. It's like a digital improv acting. The fun comes from creativity, collaboration, and storytelling. Take a look at some of Danny's content.
Girl, I'm right. Anyways, my daughter Lacey done started a farm and work at a small school.
A farm? What you started a farm for?
I don't know. She had offers to work here in Bloxburg, but, you know, you better stop that, my dear. My daughter loves me.
Girl, whatever.
Virgin Mother. Was that you singing?
No, ma'am.
Nobody else in there, Bailey McCoy. And you're late again.
While many parents see video games as brain rot, it's undeniable that it allows for young people to tap into digital creativity. These videos take a lot of time to write and edit, so we say kudos to you, Danny. That's all for today, everyone. My name is Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Social. We'll chat tomorrow.
Great job there, Matea. That does it for Access Now for tonight. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night at 7:30 sharp.
And stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson and his guest,